It'll be called. Oh, let's start again.
Oh, right.
What a cunt. I'll tell you what. We'll start again. Right. Hans Place. Shelley used to live here. Very good fellow, so I'm going to read some of Ode to Liberty.
Sorry.
I'll skip what I was reading. And we'll start again. For eager hours and unreluctant years, as on a dawn-illumined mountain stood, trampling to silence their loud hopes and fears, darkening each other with their multitude, and cried aloud, Liberty! Indignation answered pity from her cave. Death grew pale within the grave, and desolation howled to the destroyer, save! When like heaven's sun, girt by the exaltation of its own glorious light, thou didst arise, chasing thy foes from nation unto nation. Like shadows, as if day had cloven the skies at dreaming midnight o'er the western wave, men started, staggering with a glad surprise, under the lightnings of thine unfamiliar eyes. Cancer, thou heaven of earth, what spells could pull thee then? Anonymous eclipse, 1,000 years bred from the slime of deep oppression's den. Dyed all thy liquid light with blood and tears, till thy sweet stars could weep the stain away. How like bacchanals of blood round France the ghastly vintage stood, destruction's sceptred slave and folly's mitred blood. When one like them, but mightier than they, the anarch of thine own bewildered powers, rose, armies mingled in obscure array, like clouds with clouds, darkening the sacred bowers of serene heaven. He by the past pursued, rests with those dead, but unforgotten hours, where ghosts scare victor kings in their ancestral towers. England yet sleeps, was she not called of old? Spain calls her now, as with thrilling thunder Vesuvius wakens Etna, and the cold snow crags by its reply are cloven in sunder. Oh dear. O'er the lit waves every Oelian isle, from Phileas to Pelias, howls and leaps and glares in chorus. They cry, be dim ye lamps of heaven suspended o'er us. Her chains are threads of gold, she need but smile and they dissolve, but Spain's were links of steel, till bit to dust by virtue's keenest file, twins of a single destiny appeal to the eternal years enthroned before us. In the dim west, impress us from a seal, all ye have thought and done, time cannot dare conceal. Tomb of Aramis, render up thy dead, till, like a standard from a watchtower's staff, his soul may stream over the tyrant's head. Thy victory shall be his epitaph. Wild bacchanal of truth's mysterious wine, king deluded Germany, his dead spirit lives in thee. Why do we fear or hope? Thou art already free, and though lost paradise of this divine and glorious world, thou flowery wilderness, thou island of eternity, thou shrine where desolation clothed with loveliness worships the thing thou wert, O Italy, gather thy blood into thy heart, repress the beasts who make their dens thy sacred palaces. O let the free wood stamp the impious name of king into the dust, or write it there, so that this blot upon the page of fame, whereas a serpent's path, where the light air erases and the flat sands close behind, yet the oracle have heard life, the victory flashing sword, and cut the snaky knots of this foul Gordian word, which weak itself as stubble yet can bind into a mass irrefragably firm, the axes and the rods which awe mankind. The sound has poison in it, 'tis the sperm of what makes life foul, cankerous and abhorred. Disdain not thou as thine appointed term to set thine armied heel on this reluctant worm. Oh, that wise from their bright minds would kindle such lamps within the dome of this dim world, that the pale name of priest might shrink and dwindle into the hell from which it was first hurled. A scoff of impious pride from fiends impure, till human thoughts might kneel alone, each before the judgment throne of its own aweless soul, or of the power unknown. Oh, that the words which make the thoughts obscure, from which they spring as clouds of glimmering dew, from a white lake blot heaven's blue portraiture, were stripped of their thin masks and various hue, and frowns and smiles and splendours not their own, till in the nakedness of false and true they stand before their Lord, each to receive its due. He who taught man to vanquish whatsoever can be between the cradle and the grave, crowned him the king of life. O vain endeavour, if on his own high will a willing slave, he has enthroned the oppression and the oppressor. What if earth can clothe and feed amplest millions at their need, and power in thought be as the tree within the seed? Or what if art, an ardent intercessor, driving on fiery wings to nature's throne, checks the great mother stooping to caress her, and cries, give me thy child dominion over all height and depth? If life can breed new wants and wealth from those who toil and groan, rend of thy gifts, and hers 1,000-fold for one. Come thou, but lead out of the inmost cave of man's deep spirit, as the morning star beckons the sun from the Aeoan wave. wisdom. I hear the pennons of her car self-moving, like cloud charioted by flame. Come she not, and come ye not, rulers of eternal thought, to judge with solemn truth life's ill-appointed lot. Blind love and equal justice, and the fame of what has been, the hope of what will be. O liberty, if such could be thy name! Wert thou disjointed from these, or they from thee, if thine or theirs were treasures to be bought by blood or tears, have not the wise and free wept tears and blood-like tears? The solemn harmony paused, and the spirit of that mighty singing to its abyss was suddenly withdrawn. Then, as a wild swan when sublimely winging its path athwart the thunder smoke of dawn, sinks headlong through the aerial golden light on the heavy sounding plain, when the blot has pierced its brain, as summer clouds dissolve unburthened of their train, as a far taper fades with fading night, as a brief insect dies with dying day, my song, its pinions disarrayed by might, drooped, now enclosed the echoes far away of the great voice which it did its flight sustain, as waves which lately paved his watery way hiss round the drowner's head in their tempestuous play. Get on that.
What was that called?
That was some of To Liberty.